Hello and welcome to another episode of Best Bets. What is going on? I am Matt O'Leary, joined as always by Newsday's NFL pick columnist Joe Manniello. Joe, how are you?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. It was a tough week for me last week, 2-3. You were over 500 though, 3-2 for you. So heading into the final week of the regular season, strong here, and should be some good games this week.
Yeah, a lot of playoff implications, so it should be good.
Absolutely. One with no playoff implications, but with some potential draft implications. The Jets and the Patriots in what could be Bill Belichick's last game up in New England. Pats slight favorites, 1.5-point favorites at home. Who do you like in this game?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite plays of the week, just because, like what you said, it could be Belichick's last game. I just cannot see a scenario where Bill Belichick loses his New England finale in Foxborough to the Jets. Team he hates most, the former HC of the NYJ. I just don't see it. Patriots, as bad as they've been, they've actually played hard down the stretch. They won at Denver on the last second kick. They played Buffalo close last week. And I just don't see Trevor Siemian and the Jets going in there. They've lost 15 straight. Robert Saleh has never beaten Bill Belichick. I just cannot imagine any scenario where the Patriots lose this game. So I'll lay the 1.5, and I think it might be a blowout.
There you go. Well, I'm going to go with the Jets. I'll tell you why. The one reason why I think the Jets could do it, because this is a game that will only hurt them if they win. It would hurt their draft stock. You'd get to end the streak, right? The 15 straight, but it's a meaningless game in week 18, so or 17, whatever it is. The point being that the streak ending it would actually end up hurting the Jets, and the parting gift Bill Belichick would give New England is a chance at Drake May or Caleb Williams, courtesy of the New York Jets. This is not one of my favorite plays of the week. I would avoid this game if you're considering putting plays in it, but we always pick the New York locals here as a New York show. I lean the Jets plus 1.5 for that reason. Could I see the Patriots winning? Yes. Would I rather the Patriots probably win this game? I think so. As a Jet fan, I don't want to necessarily end that losing streak in a game where it doesn't mean anything to either side. It would mean a lot more next year when they're playing for something. So for that reason, I think, hey, you know what? Maybe the Jets pull it off. But like I said, I don't love this game. I would lean Jets, but don't have a great feeling on it. As for the other New York local, they are playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. They played them a couple weeks ago on Christmas, but they play again to end this season. Eagles are 5.5-point road favorites. You like Philly on the road?
Yeah, I don't feel crazy about it, but yeah, I'll take Philly. The Giants are the only team they've beaten in December. They were 1-4, and even that game went down to the wire. Last second pass interception in the end zone by Tyrod Taylor. I mean, the Giants, I thought last week they played great. They probably should have beaten the Rams. But, the Eagles, there's no way the Cowboys are losing, so they're going to be the 5 seed. They're going to have to go to Tampa Bay, New Orleans, or Atlanta. And I think they want to go into the playoffs on a high note. I think they win and cover this game. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be close for 3 quarters, pull away in the fourth quarter, 27-20, something like that. I just think the Eagles, I think they realize now, something's wrong and need to fix it after losing last week to Arizona. And I think the Giants will be game, but it's just going to come down to talent, and the Eagles have too much. I think they'll figure it out in the fourth quarter and cover.
There you go. Okay, I'm going to take the Giants. So we differ on both these first two picks. I don't think they're winning the game, but I do think they have enough to keep it close. That first game was a fun one these two teams played, and then I know they lost to the Rams, but as you said, that's a game they probably should have won. It was a 26-25 loss. They're playing tight down the stretch, and I just don't trust Philadelphia right now. As you mentioned, 1-4 in their last 5. Their only win over the Giants. They just lost to Arizona. They lost to Seattle, Dallas, and the 49ers. And I agree. I think Dallas wins and ends up getting that division. But I just don't have it in me to think that the Eagles are going to win by a touchdown on the road when they've played tight games all year. So if that's what ends up happening, fine. I guess I'll eat that one. But I think we're going to get a tight game. I don't know, 23-20 lower scoring final game here in the to close out this regular season for the Giants and the Eagles. Let's get to the game of the week, one that I know I'm really excited about. Major playoff implications. The Bills travel down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. The Bills are 2.5-point favorites and red hot. You like the Bills, or are you on your Dolphins this week?
No, not my Dolphins. I've actually gotten all their games wrong since I started watching the Hard Knocks. I get both Jet games wrong, the Cowboys game wrong last week. But I like the Bills a lot here. They're my best bet in today's paper, Friday paper. To me, the Bills, they've been playing great. They're a dangerous team when the playoffs start. Since the bye, right before the bye, they lost that game in Philly. They should have won in overtime. They were 6-6. They won 4 straight. I think they win here. I think they get the 2 seed. It's amazing how the Bills, if the Bills lose and a couple other things happen, Steelers win and the Jaguars win, a couple other things happen, the Bills could be out of the playoffs. So I think the Bills take care of business here. Josh Allen, 10-2 career against Miami, including last year's playoff game, which was a close one against Skylar Thompson and the undermanned Dolphins. But this year, when the Dolphins were flying high, they had scored 70 points in week 3. The next week, everyone picked them, including me. I think you too.
Yep.
And the Bills won 40. You picked them too, right?
Yep.
And the Bills won 48-20. And just showed you that they got their number. I just feel like the Dolphins may have peaked too early. The Bills, the way they've been playing, I just feel like they're a dangerous team. They're kind of like the Browns. No one wants to see them in the playoffs. And I just think I have too much going for that. And then also the Dolphins are just banged up. I mean, they lost Bradley Chubb last week. They already lost Jalen Phillips. So I think David Howard isn't going to play. They have so many injuries on defense. I just don't think, I think they'll rally around that and it'll be a close game for first half, 3 quarters. But I trust the Bills more. I think they win by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right on the Bills as well. They are just a hot team right now. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 5 of their last 6. The one loss, a crazy overtime game, 37-34 in Philadelphia. It seems like changing the offensive coordinator really put things, in perspective for this Bills team. The offense has been cooking, and Miami, they had a really tough schedule down the stretch. They had a really big win against Dallas, 22-20 on Christmas Eve. That was a good one. But getting blown out by the Ravens, I think, is a little worrisome. I get it. It was on the road, and you lost to Buffalo on the road last time big, and it's a home game this time. But supposedly the Bills fans are traveling well. There's rumors that there might be more Bills fans in the building than Dolphins fans this week. I don't know. I just feel the hot team. I don't know how I could pick against the hot team right now in Buffalo. And it's crazy to think, most people thought the Bills were dead in the water at 6-6 going into the bye week, thought maybe they don't make the playoffs, and I think they rattle off 5 straight wins to finish 11-6 and win the AFC East. So I agree too, by the way. They're a team no one wants to see in the playoffs, as is the Cleveland Browns. All right, I know you said the Bills are a best bet for you, but what's another one that jumps out?
Yeah, so I originally had the Cowboys laying the big number at Washington. I think it's 12.5 or 13. I think they're going to crush them, but it's so easy to pick that. So I'm going to go with the team that I was high on before the year. They were one of my over-under picks over. I think they need to win this game to get it, or maybe they already pushed it at 7. They're my best bet in week 1. I'm going to go back with them. The Chicago Bears, plus 3.5 at Green Bay. I think they might win the game. Similar to last year. Remember last year, the Sunday Night Football, week 18, Aaron Rodgers' last game at Lambeau Field? The Lions won that game. Had nothing to play for. They had already been knocked out. And the Lions won, and the Seahawks got in. The Packers lost, kept them out of the playoffs. I could see the Bears rallying around that. I mean, the Packers have just owned the Bears. 9 in a row, 14-15. Jordan Love crushed them in week 1. It was a blowout, and the Bears are my best bet. Bears had a weird season. They were 0-4. Then they've come on really strong lately, though. They played great. I think Justin Fields, I think they should keep Justin Fields, take Marvin Harrison, number 1, receiver at Ohio State, get an offensive lineman to build around Fields. I think he's better than most people think. And I really like what the Bears have done. So I think it's going to be a close game. I love that they're getting a half point now. I thought it was 3, so 3.5 is huge. And I think the Bears might win, so best bet.
There you go. I like that. It's certainly, bold with the Bears' struggles against Green Bay historically, but they played really well recently, so maybe that carries over in the final game of the year. For me, I'm going right back to a team I picked last week that screwed me against the Saints, but I'm back on the Bucs, minus 4.5 against Carolina. Carolina is a team that struggled all year. They clinched the number 1 overall pick for the Bears that you're going with in this one, and I just think the Bucs need this game. NFC South still wide open here. But for the most part this year, I mean, we talked about last week how great Baker Mayfield's looked this year. Todd Bowles has that defense playing well for the most part. And, this is one that they need to win and get into the season, get a winning record and go 9-8 and win that NFC South and host a playoff game. Probably host the Philadelphia Eagles, who they beat in the playoffs in the first round a couple years ago with Tom Brady at the helm. But I think they do it. They've looked like the best team in that division, I think, all year. And I think they have enough to get that one done against Carolina. How about an underdog? What's one that jumps out to you, Joe?
Apologize. I got the Titans plus 3.5 here. I think we're both on the same underdog. To me, this is like an anti-Jacksonville pick. I feel like it happens every year in the NFL. A team that needs to get in doesn't win the last week. It happened in 2021, the finale. The Colts, led by Carson Wentz. All they had to do was beat 2 in Jacksonville. They would have been in the playoffs, and they got crushed 26-11. It wasn't even that close. So I feel the same situation here. I think Mike Vrabel's underdogs. He's could be coaching for his job supposedly, and I just feel a big effort from them at home. Even if they don't lose 3.5, I don't think Jacksonville's going to go in there and crush them. So it could be a 3-point game. To me, Jacksonville is just an overrated team. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is hurt, obviously, but they were 8-3. I have a 9-7. I just don't know. I just feel like there's so much pressure on them to win, especially with the other AFC South game Saturday night. So, winner of the Colts Texans is going to be in shape to win the division if Jacksonville loses. So I just feel like this is one of those NFL Week 18 games where the underdog, there's nothing to play for. To me, if I was on that team, I'd be super motivated to say, hey, we're done for the year, but let's make these guys done too. So I think the Titans are going to win the game. How's that? So Titans plus 3.5 underdog.
There you go. I agree 1,000% with you. I think they're winning the game. They obviously with Trevor Lawrence banged up right now. I think that's a big factor why they started 8-3 and now they're sitting at 9-7 going into the final game of the year. But something that stood out to me, I don't know if you saw it earlier in the week, the press conference from Mike Vrabel when he was asked about, all the losing and just how riled up he was. I think he's someone who's going to keep his guys motivated in this one, a divisional game. They're all divisional games to close out the season. I love that the NFL does that. But you're right, a chance to knock out a division rival of the playoffs, a team that everyone had picked to win that division for the most part. It seemed like, Jacksonville, they would take that leap now with Trevor Lawrence going into year 3, and they looked like they were going to until they weren't. They don't look good right now. I know they beat up on Carolina, but that's a team that everyone's been beaten up on. Before that, 4 straight losses. I think they get hit with the loss here, and I think Tennessee wins the game outright in a close one. We'll go 27-24 late win for the Tennessee Titans in this one.
I'll go 2017. What did Vrabel say in the press conference?
They just asked him about losing, and he went on this whole rant about how much he hates losing and losing sucks. It's not fun being out of the playoffs again for the second year in a row. But it got really heated in the press conference. It's like, I think his team's going to come out motivated this week.
Really? I didn't see that. Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Absolutely. So we'll run through these real quick and go over it. In the first game, Jets and Patriots, we differ on this one. I'm going with the Jets plus 1.5. Joe is taking the Pats minus 1.5. Giants and Eagles, I'm on the Giants getting 5.5 points. Joe is going with the Eagles. Our game of the week, Bills and Dolphins, both riding the red hot Bills minus 2.5. Best bet, Bucks minus 4.5 for me. Joe is going with the Bears plus 3.5. And underdog, you just heard it, both on the Titans plus 3.5. Joe, appreciate it as always. Good luck this week.
Bye, Matt. You too. Thank you.